is pretty indicative as to the score in the ball game. The Steelers have kept the ball away from the Browns, which was really rather unexpected at the game start because they've got a quarterback that hasn't played before, and they've kept the ball for 16 minutes and 41 seconds without controlling the line of scrimmage rush-wise. I say if Cleveland doesn't get the ball a little bit more in the second half, their backs are going to stay up against the wall.
Both teams are back out now, ready for the start of the second half. The Browns unable to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers since October 10th of 1976, when the Browns won here at Cleveland 18-16, and both quarterbacks got hurt that day. That was the day that Terry Bradshaw was unceremoniously slammed on his head. Sipe also got banged up. As Tom Darden said before the start of the game, the all-pro free safety for the Cleveland Browns, we look on the Steelers with a combination of hatred and respect. We don't like them, but we know they're the best. Everybody gets up for the Steelers. I think John Madden might have said it best. The former Oakland coach, he said, if we played Pittsburgh every week, I'd still be coaching. It was that much fun to play them. The Steelers will kick the ball off now to start the second half as Brian Sipe limbers up. Guy came into the game with 1,800 yards passing through the first 7 weeks, 12 touchdown passes, and only 4 were intercepted. Chuck Noll and his Steelers backed up. People were writing the champions on the ropes. Are the Steelers crumbling? They've been an awful good football team here today, but the lead is not that much against a Cleveland team that's a long-range striker with the throwing of Brian Sipe. And Retigliano, you to be sure, the coach of the Browns, who gained Coach of the Year honors a season ago, and he brought this team to 9-7 in a division that sent 2 teams to the AFC Championship game, Houston and Pittsburgh. Going to have that Brian Sipe pitching more. It's getting colder now in Cleveland as Matt Bahr kicks it off. Keith Wright takes it to the 10, to the 20, spins out to the 30 into the 31-yard line. 21-yard return. The tackle was made by Dwayne Woodruff of the Steelers. Brian Sipe at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. His runners are Greg Pruitt and Mike Pruitt. Wide receivers are Dave Logan and Reggie Rucker. Ozzie Newsome is the tight end. Henry Shepard's back and well, playing left guard. Deacon's next to him at left tackle. De Leon's the center. Joe DeLamielleure, the right guard, and Cody Risen is the right tackle. It's 1st and 10 now for the Cleveland Browns. Ball is just across their 30. Rucker in motion. Takes a deep drop, swings it out, got a man wide open. Greg Pruitt, the linebacker, fell down, and Greg Pruitt literally rockets across the 45-yard line out to the 48. 18-yard gainer, John.
Well, it's a wonderful way to start the second half, and you couldn't have a better man fall down if you're a Cleveland fan than the man that's carrying the guy who's going to catch the ball. Robin Cole went back into his drop. He knew he had a problem. He started to catch Greg Pruitt. As he did, he fell right on his fanny, and Pruitt had nothing but room to run for about 15 yards and a first down.
Greg Pruitt had those great seasons with the Browns in '75. He rushed for over 1,000 in '76 and in '77. Free ball in there, and the Pittsburgh Steelers get the football back. Pruitt took the handoff, and he was kissed, and down came Pruitt, and out came the ball.
Well, I think originally the Steelers had recovered the fumble, and it slipped out of their hands, and it looked like it.
Let's see.
Like the Browns had another opportunity.
Well, the Steelers think they have it. They're sending their offense out.
They still might.
Does draw a crowd, that ball. Takes a while to unpile these people.
I tell you, that ball may have changed hands 4 or 5 times since the guy that recovered it got it.
They have it. Here's Art Modell, president of the Cleveland Browns. Tommy Prothro has had a player personnel.
Boy, when you get in those big pileups, Don, with 7 or 8 people in the midst of it, that ball is stolen so often. If you can't see the man recover the fumble when it's originally made or originally picked up, oftentimes you don't get the guy that actually had it. I don't know who did, but I know Pittsburgh fell on it first. Then the ball came out, and there was another scramble. Anyway, it's 1st and 10, Pittsburgh on the 48-yard line of Cleveland.
On first down, the Steelers go to the run, and Russell Davis doesn't get much. Charlie Hall, 59, the outside linebacker at the left side, made the stop. Marshall Harris, number 90, is at left end. He's a first-year player from Texas Christian, was originally a draft choice of the New York Jets last year, walked out of camp. and out of football for the time being, and they really like him here as a pass rusher. Henry Bradley's the middle guard, number 91. The guy we were talking about who was driving a truck here in Cleveland a year ago from Elkhorn State. Lyle Alzado, the right defensive end. Hall, Jackson, Ambrose, and Matthews back to line. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Steelers early in the third quarter. The Pittsburgh leading 13-7. Here's a strike to T-Bell. T-Bell is down to the 30-yard line. He's got a first down for the Steelers. As Stout, again, with all that height and range, stands in and then releases a rifle shot for an 18-yard gain.
Well, that play was a vintage Terry Bradshaw as we watched number 12 watching his protege, Cliff Stout, on the field. He stood in there under a real big pass rush. He got it as soon as he let that ball go. His lights were on the ground. He did not see that completion finish.
12:53 to play now in the third quarter. 13-7 Pittsburgh, and the Steelers driving after getting a third turnover in this game. Browns have not gained a turnover in the game so far. Play is whistled dead as Hawthorne starts a power sweep to the right. It'll come back.
Looks a little to me like they let the 30-second clock run out, Don. That's a mistake.
Offense.
Got him on a motion in the backfield, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty either way. An assessment that makes it 1st down and 15.
12 start. Offense number 55. 1st down.
Is 48 years old in his 12th season as head coach of the Steelers. Pittsburgh franchise is 48 years old.
1st down.
This team goes to the playoffs this year. It'll be the first time any team has done it 9 consecutive years. The Steelers started to win big in '72, and they've been the best in football since then. Stout on 1st and 15, stands in, looks, throws. Oh! Clay Matthews had the ball and lost it. Linebacker Clay Matthews is very quick. Came across, went up, and lost the ball.
You don't get many opportunities. Clay Matthews had 2 of them so far today. He's come down with neither. Both of them might have been turned into scores. There was nobody standing out in the flat.
That's right, that other one.
And he played the ball so perfectly, Stout didn't even see him. And the linebackers can hide once in a while, and when they get very effective, you never get to see them.
So it's 2nd down and 15 now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 34-yard line of Cleveland. Here's a blitz. Stout eludes it. He's going to take off. 30, 25. And Stout is down to the 26-yard line, but there's a marker down also, John.
Right in the area where it's generally pass holding. You know, I think what you've seen out of the Cleveland defense is they found a way to put some pressure on Cliff Stout. That's the one thing that was mandatory if you're a Cleveland Brown fan or a Cleveland Brown football player. They have got to create a situation. They did it this time with a game. A game is something where the interior linemen start stunning, taking each other's roles. They got a little confusion out of the Pittsburgh offensive line. As a result, they got a hold.
Offensive holding, number 79, 2nd down.
Got Larry Brown, the right tackle. Steeler fans recall him as the starting tight end on the Super Bowl championship team of '74. Put on 30 pounds and moved to tackle. He's been a good one. Now it's 2nd down and 25 yards to go for the 1st down. Swing pass to Hawthorne. Lots of Browns closing in on him. And Hawthorne gets it inside the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and long yardage. He got 7.
Now, this is one of those rare situations where they've got 3rd down and 20 yards to go for a 1st down. But an effective play for the Steelers would be a 12-yard gain. It would put them inside the 30-yard line. It would give Bahr a chance from 45 yards to kick a field goal, increase their lead to 16-7. You can bet they're not going to go all the way down the field. They're going to try to get 12 or 13. This is one of those situations where if you're a Brown, you got to remember, we can't give them 12 yards there, even though they've got 3rd and 20.
Jerry Wilkinson goes in the game. Pass rushers are in now. The Browns go to 4 down linemen.
They're coming.
Jim Smith is out there. He's interfered with. Here's the penalty markers. But there's a penalty down also in the Steeler backfield, so it could be offsetting. There might be a holding. Brown linemen are signaling a hold against the Steelers.
I think it is a holding call, Don, but I tell you, the impressive thing is the way Jim Smith just ran by Ron Bolton.
And to bring it back. Would have been first and goal had the pass interference call gone, but it's going to be offset by a hold against the Steelers.
We had an illegal motion on the offense. And on the defense, we'll replay the down. Replay the down.
See, this is just heads-up play on the part of Stout. Let's forget the penalties. He's intending to go inside on the play. He sees them come into a blitz coverage. Smith by Bolton. When he does so, he gets the ball out in a perfect position to get a penalty called. Good play by Stout under a very difficult situation.
So we'll do it over. It'll be third down and 19 now for the Steelers. Ball at the Cleveland 38-yard line. Calvin Sweeney goes wide to the left. Jim Smith comes out wide to the right. And the spot to the right. It's T. Bell. Calvin Sweeney has the ball, gets the block, turns upfield, gets inside the 20, and he gets a first down. Boy, this guy can play football. Free agent from Southern California. He runs all over the field. Dom Darden is down for the Cleveland Browns. A 16-yard gain, more than that. Third and 19, and he got about 23.
You know how hard it is to get one receiver on a football team to come in the middle and go after the ball? These guys have 5. I have never seen a Pittsburgh Steelers receiver that doesn't, when he makes his break, start coming in the field and getting on the ball first. These guys come back to it about as well as anybody I've ever seen in the game, and Stout threw an excellent ball.
Randy Grossman comes back in at tight end, set to the right. First and 10, Pittsburgh. End off to Bahr. Rocky put an unusual move on him and got some yards. I think it's called tripping. Rocky tripped on the 15-yard line. But he got ahead for 3 yards, and so it's going to be second down and 7 now. Jim Smith comes out wide to the right. T. Bell, Theo Bell from Arizona goes wide left. 10 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Stout, timing pattern, goes to Grossman, that sure-handed guy from Temple. Makes the reception. Did he get it? I think he did. He doesn't drop many. I think he caught it.
Well, Sam's a little prejudiced. He doesn't want him to have caught it.
No.
But I think it was an excellently conceived play. There was nobody in 4 or 5 yards of Randy Grossman. Stout set the play up. An excellent play-action pass. He's trying to come to Grossman. He was wide open. He just pulled the string on it a little. Came down a little bit low. You be the judge. Did he catch it or did he not? I know he got credit for it. It's first and 10 on the 3.
First and goal. They're ready to push it in if they can. They say about Grossman, if you get the ball near him, he'll catch it. Best hands on the Steeler team. He's turned into a good blocker, as is evidence he's at a wingback now as they go from the power formation, and driving into the end zone is Hawthorne. Steeler touchdown. So the Steelers extend their lead to 19-7. The big reception by Grossman sets it up, and Hawthorne's on the payoff end for a second time in this game. You'll recall he scored the first touchdown from a yard out.
All right. This play looks like it's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It looks like the play is over. Hawthorne kind of feels his way around. All of a sudden feels a little bit of daylight. Scoots the next 3 yards into the end zone. That was a beautiful drive by the Steelers. Cliff Stout's having himself some kind of day.
Bahr with the extra point right through the middle. And so the Steelers getting some big passes from Stout. Here is the payoff play. Hawthorne spins off tacklers into the end zone. The extra point is good. And now it is a 20-7 game. Pittsburgh is in the lead. Slams it on down, and we'll be back in Cleveland after this.
At about $4.50 a quart, this is one of the most expensive motor oils in the world. Or is it? If you drive 25,000 miles a year, the money you save on gas, oil changes, and oil filters alone can add up to $83. Up to $83 by switching from conventional 10W40 motor oil to synthetic Mobil 1. Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas and more.
There's one team that plays for keeps. It's a big team. Its color is green. The big green team of National Car Rental.
We play for keeps, to keep you coming back. We try to answer calls in under 3 rings at one of the most modern reservation centers.
When the GM car you want passes our maintenance checklist, you know it's dependable.
That's how we play for keeps.
And that's why I keep coming back 16 times this past year.
The big green team. 12,000 people worldwide. We play for keeps.
This is Brian Gumble in New York at Rick Stadium in Buffalo, New England, trying to turn the tables on the Bills. Steve Grogan up top, 12th touchdown pass of the year to Russ Francis. He's beaten Charles Rome. That made it 14-10. Then the Bills, after the kickoff, trying to get things going. Ferguson throws into the arms of Bill Matthews, and New England's in business again, trailing by 4. Let's go back to Cleveland and Don Criqui.
Don Criqui with John Brody. The kicker is Bahr, the receiver. Coming down to get the ball is Keith Wright. He takes off across the 30 and all the way out close to the 40-yard line.
You know what's even more commendable about the way the Steelers are playing right now is that on all their kickoffs, they've given Cleveland excellent field position. The farthest they've been back is the 30-yard line. Keith Wright runs this one out to the 38-yard line, and still the Steeler defense is held in there.
Browns have had good field position just about every possession they have. They've been outside the 35. Now they start out for a second time in the second half. You'll recall they opened the third quarter with that big 18-yard gainer to Greg Pruitt. But the next play, fumble. And the ball was back to Pittsburgh and subsequently turned into a touchdown. Here's a pitch to Logan. He's wide open. Dave Logan's inside the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. Logan lost somebody because he was out there by himself.
Tell you what happened is the defense lost Logan. He lined up very wide to the left side. Sipe couldn't believe it because the whole defense sagged. It looked like a 2 tight end offense as far as the defense was concerned for Pittsburgh. They never saw Logan. Sipe just came to him late. It was a fooler play all the way. Logan picked up the ball and 34 yards to go with it. They've got a first down inside the 30.
8:31 left to play in the third quarter. Here's a handoff. Up the middle goes Mike Pruitt. He drives inside the 20. Gets a tailwind from behind as the Steeler hit him from behind. Jack Ham and pushed him ahead another 7. Gain on the play of 13 yards and a first down for Cleveland.
And the first time that Cleveland has penetrated the line of scrimmage. We mentioned Joe Green had to have a big day. Pruitt's the first guy that has gone past the line of scrimmage with any sort of hole at all. Delamalore and Racine made a fine play offensively.
New England just scored. Grogan to Russ Francis. It's 14-10 Buffalo leading in the third quarter. First and 10 for the Browns. 15-yard line of the Steelers. Sipe stands in, loops it out. Pruitt was looking one way, and Sipe was throwing another, and the nearest guy to the ball was Ron Johnson, who's already caught one from Sipe today.
Well, that was a simple little play that Pruitt did not look back at the quarterback. Sipe just assumed he would. He's coming off. Pruitt is the open man. He's going to hit him. His receivers are covered. Just as he throws the ball, Pruitt turns up, and Johnson almost picked it off for 6.
John, you were mentioning earlier on an off track, and this field is a little wet. The receiver really has the advantage. Those secondary guys can go down.
Well, it's like playing on ice out there sometimes, and any sort of slip will leave a man clear for a touchdown. And the pass rush is hampered so much that your receivers have time to run their routes, and you usually find somebody open. It's been the case with Pittsburgh, and on occasion it's been so with Cleveland. But I think Cleveland right now has got their backs up against it.
Well, they're down 20-7. A touchdown here and an extra point would put them down by 6. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Browns when we come back. As Brian Sipe checks out his Cleveland offense, is ready to go in a moment.
To the guys who take all the heat for us, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. This buzz for you. This buzz for you. All you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Hey, this Bud's for you.
With John Brody, this is Don Criqui back at Cleveland. Matigliano and his Browns now starting to mount a challenge. Brian Sipe has put the ball up 20 times, has completed 12 for 145 yards.
Here comes Donnie Shell.
Sipe stands in, loops it into the end zone. Logan can't get through the ball. Turning out on Mel Blount. Same play, that same combination. Almost went for 6 earlier. Twice they've had loud outs out of it with 7:58 now to play in the third quarter.
Well, Logan ran such a fine pattern. You see Sipe, he spots Shell. He thinks he's probably coming. Actually, they didn't, but they didn't have time to get back out. Logan beat Blount. The ball didn't get there.
Logan comes out of the game. Ricky Feature goes in as a wide receiver. Reggie Rucker's coming out now. Logan's going to stay in. He's out wide to the left. Ricky Feature goes wide right. Third down and 10. Big play for the Browns who need a touchdown. Up the middle, Greg Pruitt. Look at him shift and dive, and he's short of the first down, though. Hemmed in by the zone defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lauren Taves knocks him down. Now let's go to New York for an update. Here's Bryant Gumbel.
Thank you, Don Criqui. The Giants have suffered a setback in their attempt to break a 6-game losing streak out at the Meadowlands. They were leading by a score of 9-7 when Phil Simms aimed this one, but it wound up in the arms of Billy Thompson. That put the Denver offense in business. Craig Morton and company came on the field and finished off a drive with this 2-yard run by Otis Armstrong, pending the extra point. Denver is out in front by a score of 13-9. Let's go back to Cleveland and Don Criqui.
Thank you, Bryant. We're set to go now. It is 4th down and 3 for the Cleveland Browns. They go to the run. Here's Mike Pruitt. He's got to get the first down to keep the drive alive. Where'd they go out?
He's short.
Looks like he is. Robin Cole, the blitzing outside linebacker from New Mexico, was the man who made the hit, and the Browns don't get there on 4th down.
Well, I know there's a lot of second guessing. It's still in the middle of the third quarter, but I agree. I think on 4th down and 2 yards to go, you have to try and pick it up. They need 2 touchdowns to win the football game. They may not get in this sort of position 3 more times in the ball game. And you can see just excellent defensive play, keeping him 1 foot short of the first down.
Right down in the dirt, just like they like it. 7:04 left in the third quarter. We'll be back.
When some people send a package by Federal Express for the first time, they never expect it to work. They're so used to getting chewed out for not getting a package there the next day, they expect it to happen with Federal, too. So they wait. And they wait. And they wait. And they wait for the complaint that never comes. Federal Express, when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight.
Is the pump picking your pocket?
The K cars are here!
Front-wheel drive Plymouth Reliant K, the American way to beat the pump. America's highest mileage 6-passenger car.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6!
Yet with Reliant's engine and drivetrain directly over the front wheels, Reliant gives you impressive pulling power. Reliant K from Plymouth, the American way to beat the pump.
On NBC Sports World, America's best young pros fight it out to see who will be tomorrow's champions. Plus, continuing coverage of the Legends of Bowling next Saturday.
Getting a little mean here in Cleveland, Ohio. As we pause briefly for station identification, this is the NBC television network.
This is WKYC TV3, television home of the Browns.
Those are the happy feet of Greg Pruitt.
Getting a little muddy down there.
And it's getting colder as that wind sweeps in off Lake Erie. Russell Davis takes the ball straight ahead as the Steelers look for room to work. After stopping the Cleveland Browns on a 4th and 2 play, the Steelers now try to punch the ball back out to give Stout the offense room to work. Cliff Stout has gone the distance at quarterback today. Young man from Oberlin, Ohio, 40 miles from Cleveland. In his 4th year in the league from Youngstown State, a guy who was in uniform 56 straight games before he played it down for the Steelers. The Action 3 News helicopter from high above Cleveland's Lakefront Stadium. It's now 2nd down and 6 for the Pittsburgh Steelers as Stout steps in. That's the good of it. They got rid of him. Stout got nailed in the blitz by Matthews.
Well, you can tell the Browns are trying to find some way to get to Stout. Very seldom do you find a quarterback in his first starting role throwing the ball from inside his own 10-yard line. Stout's playing as if he's been around 5 or 6 years, playing first string every week. You see he's trying to come off to a secondary receiver. Matthews gets to him first. Let's realize that these guys know they have to get to the quarterback. They're putting a lot of attention on Lyle Alzado. We haven't called his name all day long. Now we're in a 5-back situation, 3rd down and about 6 yards to go. A very critical play for Cleveland.
Stout is 11 for 24 throw, and here's a pitch up the middle. Calvin Sweeney goes after the ball, is separated from it. A very fine defensive play by linebacker Charlie Hall and by linebacker Bill Cowher, 53. Hall was the first to pop him. So now the Browns, John, can come out of this with very good field position as punter Craig Colquitt will be kicking into a swirling wind.
Which is another reason I think it was wise for them on 4th down and 2 to try and go for a first down. Because of that decision, they have a chance to get it in good field position. Here we go.
He's in the end zone. He'll be kicking from the goal line. He's never had one blocked in 3 years in the league. Line drive, right fields it on the run. He's something that's right.
Oh.
He gets nailed coming back. Zach Valentine was down to pop him after a 34-yard punt in the return back to the 36-yard line of Pittsburgh, and that's where Cleveland has the ball. With 6:04 to play in the 3rd quarter, and the Steelers in the lead 20-7. The Browns come out of the huddle now. Stout goes to the sidelines to regroup, get some counsel from Bradshaw. Brian Sipe in the Cleveland offense looking to get back in the game. Down 20-7. A man is open, but the pass is thrown too far for Greg Pruitt. Lamalier is out now at right guard. Robert E. Jackson is in.
Remember another thing, Dan, that the reason Pittsburgh has been in the hole in the previous few games they've been playing is that they've turned the ball over so often. Today they have not had a turnover.
Right. Cleveland's had 3. Now it's 2nd down and 10. Browns making changes between plays in the offensive line, sending some plays in from the guards. Mike Pruitt takes ahead in a 3rd down and 10 play and drives ahead inside the 25-yard line and down to the 23. 13-yard gain on a 1st down for Mike Pruitt. 6 feet, 225 pounds, and they threw his number in the computer coming out of Purdue. It almost blew up. He ran the 40 in under 4.5.
What's more important is he's a good football player. Perfect time to call a draw. They know they have to get to Sipe, hand it to Pruitt. He's got him a 1st down.
Sipe stands in, fires over the middle. Rucker is open. He's down to the 6-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Cleveland Browns at the 6-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Here they come. You notice they've tried to throw the ball over the middle a few times. It looks as if they've got Donnie Shell and Mike Wagner staying home in the middle. They picked him up just right that time, and Sipe threw it right on the break. You see an awful lot of time to throw. He allows Rucker to go down, make his move, cut right underneath Johnson. Shell has no play on the ball. 1st and 10 at the 6.
We came in here expecting a good one, and we're getting one now as the Cleveland Browns are challenging 1st and goal from the 6. Sipe, timing pattern, corner of the end zone. Rucker up, slapped away by Ron Johnson. Two-step drop, put the ball up, and Rucker to run under it. But Ron Johnson covered well from the left corner, 29.
And the only clue that Ron Johnson had that that ball was coming was that Rucker's eyes had to tell him.
Now Keith Wright goes in. He's caught 3 balls this year, all 3 for touchdowns. 4:34 left to play in the third quarter. Pittsburgh 20, Cleveland 7, but the Browns challenging second and goal from just outside the 6-yard line of Pittsburgh. Sipe throws. Logan had the ball and lost it. He was nailed by Mel Blunt.
Well, you can say that again.
There's some hit, I'll tell you.
Okay, anytime a wide receiver can get in underneath the quarterback, he's got a pretty good chance of getting the ball. He gets positioned, but Dennis Winston comes over and just unloads on Logan. That's about the only way you can intimidate a wide receiver once he gets inside the cornerback. Art Modell a little concerned, as well he might be. 13 points down, getting toward the end of the third quarter. 3rd down and 6.
3rd and goal from the 6-yard line for the Cleveland Browns. Brian Sipe, quarterback, looks over the defense. They fake a blitz. Now they come with a 3-man rush. Quick throw, touchdown, Cleveland. Greg Pruitt on the play.
That play was all Brian Sipe. You better not come to your intended receiver before you're ready to let that ball go. Brings them back within a touchdown of the lead. You can see Sipe looking to the right side. When he comes back to Pruitt, let that ball go now, baby, or everybody in the house will be there. He threw it just at the right time. Touchdown.
Boy, that was a well-done play.
You bet.
Sipe took a look, and Pruitt's made a big contribution today. Cockroft with the extra point. It's very important. Now the Browns trail by 6, so the Steeler lead is cut to 20-14. With 4:25 left to go, you get the feeling this one's going to go right down to the wire. As Sam Rutigliano is out on the field with his special teams going over things for the kickoff. We'll be back at Cleveland Stadium after this.
If you haven't tuned up your engine lately, put in a fresh set of Champion spark plugs. Fresh Champions once a year can keep your starts on cue. You can't buy a better plug.
President Carter on the revitalization of American industry.
We must create a new kind of cooperation between business and labor and government, the kind of partnership this nation has not had before, a partnership growing out of cooperation rather than contention. Though 1,000 good things will spring from this economic renewal of America, none will be more important than jobs. It will create almost 500,000 jobs by the end of next year.
Re-elect President Carter, the Democrat.
On Games People Play, regional competition of the toughest bouncer. And just in time for Halloween, a daring escape attempt from a sealed coffin. Thursday on NBC.
Getting good again here at Cleveland as the Browns have gone down the field and taken it in on a Brian Sipe touchdown throw to Greg Pruitt. Now it's a 20-14 game Pittsburgh. Pollard with a tough ball to handle. One hop at the 4, 10, 20, and out to the 24-yard line. A 20-yard return by Frank Pollard as the Browns quickly went 35 yards, 6 plays. Greg Pruitt on the payoff end from Brian Sipe. On the tackle and special teams, Willis Adams for the Browns.
Don, I think the special teams for Cleveland have outplayed Pittsburgh's special teams. They've given their team the ball in better field position all day long. The 22 or 3-yard line isn't where Pittsburgh's accustomed to starting their drives.
Steelers go to run. Russell Davis can't get there. Clay Matthews shed the block and hit him. Knocked him down, loss of 2. Matthews and Jackson, these 2 linebackers, have made a lot of plays for the Browns. They've been open. Linebackers have to get open, too. People are trying to knock on them.
looks like Colquitt from here, Don, trying to get loose because he feels they may need him shortly. That guy isn't a football player, is he? I think he just needs a little help.
Important thing, they're having fun.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Here's Rocky Bahr getting ahead on second down at 11. He didn't get anywhere. The Browns are really buoyed by that last touchdown, and now they're stuffing the Steelers at the line. It's going to be third down and 9 coming up. Rocky got ahead for 2. Alzado and Jackson knocked him down.
And we mentioned Cleveland seems to be playing a whole lot better in the second half, particularly defensively at the line of scrimmage. They have not allowed Pittsburgh to sustain any long drive. Alzado gets in on a play, makes a big one, third down and 8.
3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Scott stands in, takes a look. Guns it. Look at Theo Bell. Get the ball. It's a foot race now. T-Bell, he's going to win it. Coast to coast. T-Bell's going to take it out. He goes down at the 4. What a play. T-Bell, a sprinter from Arizona, got inside the Browns zone, and Stout again throws a perfect strike on the numbers. And again, the Steelers deliver the big gainer, a 71-yard play.
Now, his offensive line gives him an opportunity to wait for Theo Bell to come all the way past the linebacker so that he can catch the ball on a dead run. When he does so, he's wide open. Beautiful throw, beautiful reception. As we mentioned, those Steeler receivers just keep coming in the middle and grabbing the big play.
Here it is again, John.
Never let it be said that this kid doesn't have a strong arm. That ball is thrown the only place it can be thrown. Right in between 5 Brownies. They've got first and goal on the 3.
T-Bell, a fourth-year player from Arizona, drafted in the 4th round in '76. Back to the run. Sidney Thornton goes in standing up. So the Browns challenge and the Steelers respond. And the Pittsburgh Steelers now go in front 26-14. Tell you, Pittsburgh looks super in this game.
Well, they've looked super in a lot of games over the years, Don.
Not in the last 2, though.
It's just that they're not the same players that you're accustomed to seeing, and they still play in the same way. How many times have you seen Terry Bradshaw come back under similar situations, pick out Lynn Swann or John Stallworth? I hardly expect that you would see a Cliff Stout making the same play to Theo Bell.
I tell you, he's looked like Bradshaw out there.
Well, he's just looked great.
Tremendous arm, and he knows what to do with it. A 71-yard gainer to T-Bell, and Robert Jackson's down right now being attended to.
Boy, if he gets hurt, he was hurt a couple of years ago, Don, and he had a problem with his knee at that time. They gave him an extra year to get it well, and he hasn't had much problem since then. It looks like it might be in the same area. If it is, that's a big blow to Cleveland and Robert Jackson.
Yeah, he suffered a serious knee injury at the outset of training camp his rookie season as the #1 draft choice out of Texas A&M, and he missed the entire 1977 season because of it. And he came back strongly. He's been a major factor in the Browns' success this year.
Doesn't look like we're going to see any more of him today, and you know what it does? It makes them change the whole strategy of their defensive attack. I mean, they try to keep people off Robert Jackson so he can make tackles. When he's not in there, I don't think there's anybody can fill his shoes in that defensive structure. There you see some happy helmets.
T-Bell
having a little fun, isn't he?
He's having a lot of fun on that 71-yarder. And then Thornton goes in on the payoff end with 2:40 to play in the third quarter. Now Matt Bahr will try the point after. He nails it off. Didn't go. So it's 26-14 Pittsburgh. Matt Bahr couldn't get it to work. We'll watch again.
They're having a little problem with their kicking game in several departments, but none with their throwing game.
And we'll be back in a moment.
It's time for you. It's time for you.
It's time for Imperial, a new luxury car with everything standard from electronic fuel injection to an interior by Mark Cross.
I'm telling you that dreams come true.
It's time for Imperial, with a basic limited warranty twice as long as any other American luxury car.
Come on, baby, it's time.
Don't be late, Pop.
It's time for you.
It's time for Imperial.
Homeward bound, coast of New England.
You got 6'2" feet.
The Navy. See your recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Here's Matt Bahr kicking off. Keith Wright goes for the football. One hopper at the 13-yard line. To the 20 and the 25. Right side channel is set up, and Keith Wright streaks through it and gets out across the 30. Takes it to the 33-yard line where Craig Wolfley knocked him down. Be downtown Cleveland, where Tuesday night the President of the United States, Jimmy Carter, and candidate Ronald Reagan will debate. Every hotel in Cuyahoga County is sold out because of this game, with over 81,000 and the debate. The whole news world is here.
That ought to be a bit active.
Just about every foreign country has reporters here for that. Dropping back his sight. He looks, he throws. Greg Pruitt gets the ball ahead, and he's out close to a first down. Looks like he has it, John.
He's got it. They haven't, they've got an awful lot of time left. There's 17 minutes left to play in this ball game, so there's no time to panic. However, it looks as if Cleveland has got to score a lot of points because they've been unable to stop Pittsburgh. Time and again, 3rd and 15 situations. Pittsburgh's turned them into first downs, made long plays in critical moments. So Cleveland's just got to keep pace.
A lot of time left. 1:56 to go in the third quarter. The Steelers 26, the Browns 14. Brian Sipe with the deep drop. No rush. He's got time. He looks, searches it out, and goes to Logan, gets him for a first down. Logan's down to the 43-yard line of the Steelers.
He had the ball in one pocket and Blunt in the other.
Blunt's had all he can handle with Logan. That was a 28-yard gain.
Listen, I'd say it's both ways. You stick a one-on-one. Mel Blunt has been great over the years, but what makes him so great is that it allows him to do a lot of things because they leave Blunt alone a lot. They let him play those great receivers man-to-man.
That offensive line blocking at Cleveland has been excellent. Sipe with time to review all his people running pattern. Here he is again taking a look. Standing in, looping a pattern, and a penalty marker's down. Rucker turned out. Sipe was looking for a fly pattern.
I think he got lucky, Don. I really think he was going down. Rucker made his move to the outside. Johnson pushed off on him just at the time he made his move. Sipe wisely threw the ball down the field and got a call. I think you'll see something that very seldom is seen.
It'll be interesting to see that.
Must be defensive holding.
Illegal contact, defense, number 29, first down.
Let's see if we can detect it. We mentioned it was Rucker and Ron Johnson. This is past the 5-yard zone. Johnson cannot alter his pattern the way he did on that occasion. As a result, it's first down and 10.
Joe Costanza with the arithmetic. Sipe 17 to 29 for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He's going down.
Diving for the ball is Logan. He caught it. What a play.
I think that was Newsome.
Or Ozzie Newsome. Ozzie Newsome came back at the ball.
Uh-oh.
Brian Sipe took a shot in his throwing arm. Ozzie Newsome ran the pattern and dove back at the ball.
Looks like both of them made a great play, but they're both coming off the field. That's a big price to pay if you're Cleveland. Let's take a look. Brian Sipe back to throw the ball. He looks to throw it into what appears to be double coverage, and it did look as though he hit his arm on the helmet of an on-rushing Steeler. Newsome just makes a great play, cutting underneath Donnie Shell to get the first down at about the 12-yard line. Now we're going to see Paul McDonald, a young kid from USC. Don, he's stated to have as much pose as any young quarterback in this game. He has never played in the National Football League game. He's been practicing. He's hurting. Sipe is hurting. It looks like his shoulder to me. And it's your right shoulder. It isn't going to get better in 2 minutes.
You've been there.
Well, he's an awful tough dog. You can see Sipes going out on the track trying to see if he can throw a little bit. If it's not broken, he'll be back. But it's sure hurting.
Paul McDonald's an interesting guy, John, from Southern California, a rookie drafted in the 4th round. He comes in with the label of winner. He quarterbacked 2 Rose Bowl victors at USC, also won national championship team. And he set an NCAA record for the lowest percentage of interceptions thrown during a college career. So he's not going to give it away on you.
Well, Don, last week, Paul McDonald was ready to start the ball game. Sipe came back, found a way to get his arm ready to play. He's down there right now. They're trying it out. I don't know if he'll be ready, but this is a big goal for McDonald.
He's ready. Let's see what McDonald does. Might go to the run to Pruitt.
Better get the ball.
Steelers get the ball. Steve Furness goes in and gets the ball on the fumbled snap. That's an problem inherent to a new quarterback coming in.
Well, how many times have you seen it? It's not the same when you're in a football game in the middle of the 4th quarter. You're trying to get back on the board. It's not like at practice. The center, his reflexes are a little bit different. If you try to get out of there just a little too quick, the ball's going to stay. It did, and they lost it.
So the Steelers stopped the Brown challenge on a 4th Cleveland turnover in this game. Now they go to the run, and the Steeler offense cannot penetrate as Cleveland's Charlie Hall comes up and fills.
That's a sick feeling when you're a quarterback that hasn't had any playing time, Don, and this is their first opportunity. You're just going in there to bide a little time, hand the ball off to the fullback, see if Sipe can get his arm back to play. Forgot to get the ball from center.
Coach, I don't know what happened, but it wasn't right for the Browns. We'll be back as we're ready now to start the 4th quarter at the end of the 3rd quarter after these messages from your local station.
The television movie event of the season.
I am an actress. Maybe you could help me.
Sophia Loren stars in her own story, from war-ravaged Italy to worldwide fame, from her affair with Cary Grant to her fight to have a child.
I'm losing my baby.
Based on her bestseller, Sophia Loren, Her Own Story, a 3-hour world premiere Sunday.
We're doing something about it. We're working at making our energy last.
Sunoco wants to make every drop count for America. That's why we have a new pump for unleaded gas. It has 4 grades of unleaded, including economy, priced below our regular, which can save money for you and fuel for America.
We're doing something about it. Sunoco is making every drop count.
On every bottle of Ondecker, it says exactly what our special premium beer is made of. Pure water, imported hops, and the finest 2-row barley malt. For 41 years, we've made Ondecker to be the best that beer can be, and that's the only way we'll ever make it. After all, if you can't make a beer that's the best of beers, then why make beer at all?
And if you can't make Ondecker,
Then why make beer at all?
you've got a friend.
NBC mobile units. There's a lot of them in Cleveland to cover this game and to cover the presidential debate. Tuesday night at 9:30 Eastern Time on NBC at the Public Hall of Cleveland. That's the start of the debate right in the downtown. And now we ease on in the Action 3 News helicopter of WKYC Television Cleveland, an NBC-owned and operated station. Right on down to the sold-out Cleveland Stadium, to the playing field on a cold, cold day with the wind blowing and the world champions, the Steelers, staving off the Browns. Cleveland trailing 26-14. On the run, the pitch is made by Stout, and the reception is made on the 31-yard line. Jim Smith comes back at the ball and catches it.
He just keeps doing it, Don.
Next Sunday, it's an exciting doubleheader day. Start your day with NFL 80 as host Brian Gumble brings you up-to-the-minute news, scores, highlights, and more. Then you'll see the San Diego Chargers take on the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Houston Oilers play the Denver Broncos, plus other regional games. It's all next week on NFL football here on NBC. Right now, we're starting the fourth quarter. 14:53 to play in the game. Don Criqui with John Brody at Cleveland. The Steelers drive the ball at the Cleveland Browns, take it out to the 34-yard line on a first down carry. Paul McDonald, who lost the snap, and nobody in the world feels worse about than Paul.
Well, I tell you what, very seldom is it necessarily any one particular person's fault, whether it be McDonald or the center de Leon. It's just a communication problem that takes place so often when a quarterback comes in for the first time. And that's just the way the game goes.
Second down and 7 coming up for the Steelers. Stout stands in. They pick up the blitz. They picked off Hall. Here's the throw in the sidelines. Big Benny Cunningham makes the reception. Didn't get a whole lot, but did well to get any. Charlie Hall was coming on a blitz, and Rocky Blyer banged him.
Cunningham he played very well last week, and they're letting him play some this week. They've been expecting so much of him, but Randy Grossman every week comes up with some big plays, does the right things in key situations, and he's a hard man to get out of the lineup.
Now the Steelers will have third down and 2 coming up. 14:06 to play in the game. Browns with 4 turnovers, and on this cold, windy day, the Steelers have not turned the ball over yet. Stout calling his own number. Man, he got hammered. He needed to get across the 40. He didn't. It didn't look like.
Well, it depends where they spot it. His body's across the 40. I don't know if he brought the ball with him.
The ball is at the 40. Just short. Bring up fourth down. The punting team is coming out for Pittsburgh. Browns would be right back in this if they were able to take it in. Brian Sipe is warming up on the sidelines. He's getting the ball away, but he's not getting that usual zing on it. Mike Webster down in the dirt, ready to snap the ball to Colquitt. And Keith Wright back at his 19-yard line for Cleveland. Colquitt hasn't been getting it done with the punts. Dino Hall, an up back, takes it, starts upfield, doesn't go far, got to the 26. And there the Browns will go on offense, first and 10. So with 14:19 left to play in the game, and the Pittsburgh Steelers in the lead, they'll be back at Cleveland Stadium in a moment.
Now comes Miller time. The flag is dropped, the race is a memory. And now you're coasting into the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you got the time, we've got the beer. If you got the time.
This is the oil that saves you gas, but it does more. It can take you
from New York to London to Paris
To Sweden.
to Tokyo
To Hollywood.
and back to New York.
25,000 miles without an oil change. Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas and more.
Tuesday, Lucy's on NBC, and the stars are coming out to greet her. Join Johnny Carson, Bob Hope, Gary Coleman, Jack Klugman, and more for the Lucille Ball special.
The Cleveland Browns ready to come out firing. First and 10 in the fourth quarter, 13:18 to play in the game. Scoreboard clock been going in and out. Official time is now 13:18. Sipe eludes the rush. Stands in, throws the ball, completes it to Logan. He's ahead for a first down. And he's ahead for an 18-yard gain to the 45-yard line.
That play showed quite a bit, Dan. It showed that Brian Sipe can throw the ball across his body. I think there was a little concern on the part of even Sipe as to whether he had enough juice in his arm to be effective out there. That concern should be ended. Logan runs a nice pattern. Sipe has to slide to his right. Logan finds an open spot. The ball's there, and he picks up 15 and a first.
Logan's caught 5 today, as you see, for 92 yards. They'll be throwing some more at him. Here's a 1st and 10 play. Sipe throws to Greg Pruitt. That was the touchdown combination of not that long ago for Cleveland. And they connect for a 9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 1. And even with 12:23 left to play, the Browns huddling quickly. Now they slow it up. Cleveland needing 2 touchdowns.
That was an excellent jump that Pruitt made, because there's a big difference between 2nd and 3 down and 2nd down and 1.5 feet. They can afford to do something on this play that they might otherwise not be able to.
Hand up to Mike Pruitt. He breaks it. Mike Pruitt's down inside the 30. Cleveland firing off the ball. Deacon and Shepard on the left side. DeLeon. And a 17-yard run from scrimmage by Mike Pruitt. And the Browns start to challenge again. Can you imagine, had they taken it in the last time when they had the fumbled snap and the loss of the ball? This could be the go-ahead touchdown they're going for. Now they're trying to score to get back in the game as they trail 26-14 with 11:30 to play. 1st and 10, Cleveland. Rucker right, Logan left. Ozzie Newsome, tight end, lines up to the right. The pitch and catch game now for the Browns. That looks like a completion to Ozzie Newsome. Coming back at the ball, they say no.
There you saw a lot of officials looking around, see if anybody saw it clean that time. I could not see it from this vantage point. There were a lot of them that couldn't either.
2nd down, 10 from the Steelers 29.
This looked very similar to the play that Grossman picked up down on the 7-yard line. Sipe does throw the ball low. I think it's a good call. It's a 1-bouncer. They called it right.
Sipe brings his team out of the huddle now. 2nd down and 10 for the Browns, just inside the Pittsburgh 30. 11:14 to go. In motion is Rucker. One comes across with him. Sipe drops the throw again.
Coming.
Gets it away. Greg Pruitt with one hand catches the ball and goes down to the 25-yard line. Way short of the 1st down, but they did well just to escape the blitz and get a completion.
Let's give credit where it's due. Dennis Winston came clear across the field. It was a blitzing situation. His man is Greg Pruitt. He had to carry him all the way to the sideline. There's nobody in that area. If Winston misses, he gets there in time, holds the play to a 4-yard gain.
Greg has caught 7 today for 64 yards. One of them in the end zone. 26-14. Pittsburgh in the lead. 11:08 to play in the game. Now Newsome, the wide receiver, the tight end, goes out as a wide receiver left. 2 wide receivers to the right. 3rd down and 6. Sipe throws. He gets Logan. He gets a 1st down. And the Browns drive on.
Well, that's hanging in there for your quarterback. Very good penetration that time. Somehow Sipe found a lane. Logan runs an excellent pattern, but Ron Johnson, little double coverage against him. Johnson's taking him up close. Shell's back. Sipe puts the ball where it has to be thrown. They're still on the move at the 15-yard line. That play was good for 11 yards.
And Logan's caught 6 for 103 yards. On 1st and 10, Sipe looks again, stands in, timing pattern, end zone. Nobody near it but Donnie Shell. Right safety, he was running back there with Newsome. He's 2nd and 10.
Don, before this game started, Sam Ratigliano and Jim Schaffner, the offensive quarterback coach, were hoping that they could get Newsome loose on Donnie Shell. They haven't been able to do it very effectively today. Now, when you get inside the 20-yard line, you know the defense is going to be man-to-man. They close down in there. They're trying to get to Newsome, but Shell's doing a fine job on it.
2nd down and 10 coming up for the Cleveland Browns. Shell comes right up, boy. He takes that tight end down at the line of scrimmage.
He challenges you.
Now he plays a little bit off Newsome, way off Newsome. Brian Brian Sipe with a 2nd down and 10 play from the 15. Stands in, looks, throws. He's got a man. It's lost. Ball was into Greg Pruitt. He lost it incomplete. So at 10:17 left to play in the ball game, we're going to switch to New York and Bryant Gumbel.
Thank you, Don Criqui. At Rich Stadium in Buffalo, the Bills have padded their lead against the Patriots. This is Joe Cribbs, some kind of rookie. 16-yard touchdown. He is 9th of the year, his 8th rushing, and the Bills are out in front by 11. Back to Cleveland and Don.
Thanks, Bryant. The Bills holding a team meeting this week in Buffalo. No coaches allowed. Let's get our act back together, and apparently they have, as they lead what might be the best team in the AFC at the moment, the New England Patriots.
I think the Bills would...
Well, they're making a case for themselves today.
Their own claims.
Here's a throw down to Logan. He says he got it.
I think he did get it. I think they're going to give it to him, but they're still going to be short of the 1st down. It's going to necessitate a 4th down play similar to the one we saw in the 3rd quarter. They've got about 4th and a yard and a half. Be interesting to see what they do, Donnie. Now, this is about the only place Sipe can throw it.
And he did get it. I don't know how you could tell, but he
Blunt has no way to tell. Wagner's knocking the ball out of Logan's hands. He knows he caught it. Couldn't have a more similar situation than we had 15 minutes ago. 12 points down.
4th down and 2 now for the Cleveland Browns. They look, the throw. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Oh, what a catch.
Greg Pruitt gets another one. And Sipe is flat on his back, but he's getting up. Robin Cole got him on a blitz.
That's when being flat on your back doesn't bother you a bit. He went back. They were in a blitz. He had very little time to throw the ball. He had to throw it before Pruitt had turned around. And if Pruitt were not the athlete that he is, he'd have never been able to even get his hand on the ball. He had a hot receiver. There was nobody to pick. The man that hit Sipe is the man that had to cover Pruitt. There is nobody in the area to cover him, but how do you get the ball to him? Great play.
That little Oklahoma dandy, boy's got good hands. Look at this catch. Comes back at the ball. The extra point was up and good, so the Browns are right back in it with a lot of time to play. Now it's ruled it was no good. They're waving it off. But still, the Cleveland deficit is 6 points. So a touchdown would tie it up. An extra point could conceivably win it, but the Steelers aren't done yet. We'll be back.
I told my Allstate agent I can't afford life insurance. Well, John, don't put marbles in the penny wrappers. He told us about one of Allstate's affordable life plans. For a 28-year-old, $50,000 in decreasing term insurance for about $11 a month. These pennies could pay for a couple of months. Well, John...
Well, you put your pennies in my marble jar.
Ask about Allstate Life's affordable life plans. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Has the pump got you in a bind?
The K cars are here.
Plymouth Reliant K. Highest mileage 6-passenger cars. The American way to beat the pump. 4-door, 2-door, or wagon. And with all the weight of Reliant's engine and drivetrain up front. You get the great traction of front-wheel drive. Reliant K from Plymouth. The American way to beat the pump.
This is Brian Gumbel in New York. At the Meadowlands in Jersey, the Broncos are threatening to increase their lead over the Giants. This is Dave Jennings punting. He gets off a 39-yard punt, but Rick Upchurch gets back all but 4 yards of that with a 35-yard return to put the Denver offense in business and leading 14-9. Let's go back to Cleveland and Don Criqui.
Brian Sipe just connected again to Greg Pruitt. Look at this. Looks like an onside kick try.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think they're just trying to check them.
You got it. They're kicking it deep. Going to kick it out of bounds also. Cockroft will have to try it again from his 30. 9:12 left to play in the game. This game, a key game in the AFC Central. This the 61st meeting of the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers, a rivalry that dates back to 1950. Brian Sipe has been the man who's rallied the Browns time and again. Last season, their 9-7 year, and this season they rallied back after losing their first 2 games, 3 of their first 5 to go 4-3, and tie Pittsburgh and Houston for the divisional lead. One of these teams will be in the lead with the winner of the Houston-Cincinnati game today. as this division is airtight. Some call it the best division in football. Of course, the Steelers and the Cleveland Browns both came over from the National Conference to the American Conference for a $3 million fee. Art Modell said to Art Rooney one day, "I'd give mine back to transfer out of this division."
Well, I'll tell you what the problem now is. The Browns have caught the Steelers in a situation where they have so many people hurt, a lot of teams can compete. This is a very big game. It can get them running. If you let the Steelers get their head up, when their people come back, it'll be Katie's bar the door again.
Into the end zone, Cockroft doing well from his 30. A 70-yard kickoff into the end zone for a touchback. And so with 9 minutes left to play, the Steelers go on offense, leading by but 6 points at their 20.
Don, that was one of those mental blunders that you don't see a good kickoff returner make very often. Cleveland gets a 5-yard penalty. The kick returner stays back on the 5-yard line. As a result, the ball bounces in front of them, and they have to take it on the 20.
You have to admire this quality in the Browns of coming from behind, as they've done so many times. As Lombardi said, the hallmark of a great team is a team that comes from behind to win. It's easy to get out in front and run away. You got to come back. That's where you see what you got. Here comes Stott, running for the Steelers. Bailing out. Got to head for a few. First and 10 play from the 20. Stops the game clock with 8:55 left to play. It's an overcast day in Cleveland. The lights have been on since the outset of the day. The wind isn't blowing. The chill factor has to be in the 20s. Temperature in the high 30s. And so far, the Steelers have played error-free football. They've not turned the ball over. Conversely, it has been the Browns' undoing so far, but they're still very much in the game. The Cleveland team has turned the ball over to Pittsburgh 4 times. Once on the 6-yard line of the Steelers, and it looked like the Browns were going to take it in. But the Browns rally back. They come from behind, and they trail 26-20. Now the handoff goes to Rocky Bleier. On a 2nd and 6 play, Rocky Bleier gets ahead for about 4. Let's get an update now on what's happening around the league as we go back to New York to NFL 80 and Bryant Gumbel.
Thank you, Don Criqui. At the Meadowlands, it looked for a moment as the Giants would fall 2 points further behind. Watch this. Luke Prestridge punting. Alvin Garrett loses the handle at about the 6. Ball into the end zone. Denver tackles him at first. It was ruled a safety. Since ruled a touchback on a muff. Giants still in business, but trailing by 5.
8:18 left to go here at Cleveland. 3rd down and 3 for the Steelers. Big play. They need this one. Here's a swing pass. Diving for the ball and not getting it is Sidney Thornton. And so the Browns will get the ball back on a punt.
And the way the Steelers have been punting, they may get it in excellent field position. If Cleveland ever had a punt that was important, this one is. He's been a very consistent punter over the years. Today he's had 2 very short ones.
Some game. 8:09 left to play. The Browns seemingly out of it. Rally back, and now the Steelers are backed up. They've got to punt. It's a swirling wind that plays tricks with the ball that Colquitt has not handled well. And there's a great return man back for Cleveland and Keith Wright. Colquitt standing at his 14-yard line will hit the ball at the 17. He gets off a beauty. High punt. Spiral downfield. It's taken by Wright. Look at this gutty kid catch the ball with a man right in front of him. Had to give him room to catch it. Jack Valentine. Wright would not fair catch. He got ahead for 5 more yards after a 40-yard punt into the wind. So now the Cleveland Browns offense comes back out on the field with a chance to go ahead.
Here's another Radio Shack telephone sensation. And lucky you, it's on sale for only $39.88. Super small size. And the push-button dial has a memory button that automatically redials busy numbers. Of course, it has an extra long 16-foot cord. And watch this. Its hang-up is a put-down. You save even more when you own your own phone. And it's built and sold only by Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
I don't think so. Hey, Norm, when it comes to switching to natural light, add me to the roster.
Tony Jurgensen, good to see you. Did you switch for the all-natural ingredients?
No, I switched for the taste. Natural light tastes better to me.
You old quarter horse, you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, look at me. If I'd have been in this shape 5 years ago, I might have even run with the ball.
The moves he could have made.
Yeah, like the old quarterback sneeze.
Yeah. Hey.
Natural light. Taste is why you'll switch.
This is Brian Gumble in New York. At Rick Stadium in Buffalo, Patriot efforts to get back into the ballgame against the Bills have been short-circuited. Watch this. Steve Grogan throws it up. Charles Rome calls for a fair catch. And the Buffalo offense is in business and leading 24-13. Back to Cleveland and Don Criqui.
Back at Cleveland Stadium with John Brody, this is Don Criqui. The Pittsburgh Steelers are on defense now, leading this game 26-20. After they led at the half, 13-7, extended that lead to 20-7, then to 26-14. And now the Browns have come back, scoring their last possession. They have the ball at their 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Brian Sipe, who's been throwing all day long and well, puts it downfield. Logan goes up and catches the ball. A reception at the 40. What a play.
I tell you, it's hard enough to hit a guy like Logan with Johnson all over him, but that time Mike Wagner was playing the inside in a double zone coverage, and I don't know how Sipe got the ball to him. It was just over Wagner's hands. Excuse me, that was Johnson underneath and Wagner back. I tell you, it looked as if he bobbled the ball, but both feet came down in just before he went out, and he had control. That was the right call.
Logan doing a big job. 8 catches for 131 yards. Here's Pruitt turning the corner. They get him neck high, run him down at the 40. Dirt Winston, the middle linebacker, playing for the injured Jack Lambert, who not only is not in uniform, he's not even here today with a sprained knee. They hope he'll be back in 3 weeks. Brian Sipe has put the ball up 40 times. It's hurting to throw now. You remember he injured his shoulder on the one play, but he's still connecting, and he's connected on 25 of 40 for 303 yards and 2 touchdowns. Charles White was in the game. Mike Pruitt's in the backfield with him. White swings out of the backfield. Sipe throws over the middle. Reggie Rucker makes the reception down at the 21-yard line. And the Browns continue to rally back with 7 minutes to go.
Don, that's perfect timing. They're trying to throw the ball in the middle to either their halfback or their tight end or the man in the slot, as it was in this instance with Reggie Rucker. Sipe is throwing the ball just as they come open because they're not open very long.
A 21-yard gain and a 1st down for the Cleveland Browns. 21-yard line of the Steelers. Now the Browns are challenging for the tying touchdown. If they get it, the extra point would put them ahead. But they haven't been automatic today, those extra points. Each team has missed one. Draw. Draw it is. Mike Pruitt carries on 1st and 10, runs it to the 18-yard line. L.C. Greenwood, 68, was on the stop. So Sipe, who really establishes the pass, then throws in some runs.
He never establishes the run, and he hasn't done it all day long. I mean, don't try to establish something you didn't bring.
Time is very much a factor now as you see the clock wind down to 6 minutes. What a game this has been. You get the feeling there'll be a lot more happening before that 6 minutes is up. Chuck Noll looks at his Steeler defense, which has been challenged time and again, has responded with 4 turnover recoveries. Sipe takes a look. He gets time. Here comes Dwight White. A swing pass. Dirt Winston is called for a foul.
That's the correct call.
Yep. Automatic 1st down at the point of infraction. Dirt got there early and hit Pruitt, Mike Pruitt.
I'll tell you what Dirt Winston is talking about right now, and what the officials are also in conference about, is they feel that Dirt Winston grabbed a hold of Pruitt behind the line of scrimmage.
After discussion, it was decided that there was no foul.
And that's correct, because he got him behind the line of scrimmage, and you can make contact with a receiver behind the line of scrimmage. I know people are going to say, hey, you can't do that, but you can.
Well said, John Brody. And now with 5:43 left to go, the penalty flag goes back in the hip pocket. There is no foul on Dirt Winston. Greg Pruitt and Calvin Hill are the running backs for the Browns. 3rd down is coming up for Cleveland. 3rd down and 7. The ball at the 18-yard line of Pittsburgh. 5:43 to play, and the Steelers in the lead, 26-20. 2 wide receivers left. Ozzie Newsome's out to the right. Sipe digs in, timing pattern to Newsome. He's going for it. Touchdown, Cleveland! The Browns tie the game.
I tell you,
this building is shaking.
There's about as much rock as I've ever seen in a stadium. This place
building is shaking. 81,000. Stanford is 15,000 in the end zone that are sitting down. They're not too pleased with all this. But we've got a long way to go. 5:38 left to play, and now the all-important extra point. John Cockroft with Paul McDonald holding. You remember it was Paul McDonald who had a problem with that snap from center, who lost it. He's got to be concerned as he sets it down perfectly. Cockroft drills it right up and through, and the Cleveland Browns take the lead. 27-26. Look at this throw by Sipe, and Ozzie Newsome is there.
Don, it's easy to understand why a crowd gets excited. Brian Sipe's been doing this for the last 3 years. His team's down by 6. He puts the ball in the air to Newsome at the perfect time, hit him in perfect stride. They lead the ball game by 1, and it's far from over with 5 minutes and 38 seconds left to play.
Are you being robbed by the pump? The front-wheel drive Plymouth Reliant K, the American way to beat the pump. America's highest mileage 6-passenger wagon. Chevy claims Citation has the utility of a wagon. But watch. With back seat folded down, Citation holds only 41 cubic feet to 69 cubic feet for Reliant. And you get higher mileage with Reliant K from Plymouth, the American way to beat the pump.
I learned to drive in an old Model T that belonged to my dad. We counted on Pennzoil to take care of the engine. Today, Pennzoil does even more, because now it saves gasoline. Pennzoil has added gas savings to its regular multi-weight oils, and they've done it at their regular price. So you don't have to spend extra money to get extra miles.
Gas-saving Pennzoil. Quality in every extra mile.
This is Brian Gumble in New York. By the end of the day, there's going to be a tie for the lead in the AFC East because Buffalo's going to beat New England. Joe Krebs with his 10th touchdown of the year here. Bills are out in front, 31-13. Back to Cleveland.
The Browns have rallied back in the fourth quarter, and they lead 27-26. And, John, there's an old friend of yours who's done a great job with the Cleveland passing game.
Well, he's been a quarterback coach par excellence. Jim Schaffner. Brian Sipe credits him with being the most improved part of their club.
Cleveland Browns aren't even running on the turf. They're a foot above it as they come down the field on special teams. Sweep down Frank Pollard.
Looks like a flag, Donnie.
Might be a clip. 27 completions by Brian Sipe is a new club record. He's hit 27 of 43 for 339 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Well, how many did he have last week? Something like 390?
Last week he went for 390. Correct. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers must rally back. The champions are down in this game by 1. Here's a strike in the flat. Perfectly thrown and caught. Coming back at the ball was Jim Smith. Boy, this guy's tough, this Smith.
They better not give that kid much room or he'll riddle them.
They're calling it off.
Yes, they did. Now let's look at the play that put Cleveland into a tie. Perfectly timed. He throws the ball, gives Newsome some room to run. Only one step on Johnson. Takes it in easily for a touchdown. That's what all the people are up and at him.
No catch is the rule, so the down goes by. It's second down now and 10. And Jim Smith comes back to the huddle. They said he got it on the one hop. Side judge right there.
No doubt what he's going to do, Don. He's putting it up, and they better get a pass rusher here, Riddle.
Clips down, drops back, stands in. He looks, guns it. Oh, man, almost intercepted. He was going to his tight end, Grossman, but the ball was tipped before it came in.
Charlie Hall could have caught it easily. That's the third break they've gotten on interceptions.
Right now, we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WKYC TV3 television, home of the Browns.
Now the pressure is really on Stout and the Steelers. Third down and 10 coming up. Chuck Noll has seen his team at the pinnacle of the game 4 times. Lyle Alzado.
I tell you, there's a guy that once he made his move, he forgot to stop.
And they're going to call it against Pittsburgh. So it becomes 3rd and 15. Look at these Browns slapping hands, but they've not got it won yet. 5:09 to go. We've got a long way to go.
Last time it was 3rd down and 20.
Offense.
Remember where Stout put it. Theo Bell ran it down to the 3.
71-yard gain, that's right. That is a very good point. Last time they had a 3rd and 20, Stout hit Theo Bell, and he went 71 yards down to the 3.
Number 55.
John Kolb, the left tackle, left a little early. Was in motion. Alvin Sweeney comes out wide to the left. Jim Smith goes out wide to the right. T-Bell is in the slot right. Linebackers covering him. Stout stands in. Looks, throws. He's got Rocky Blyer in time for the ball. Misthrown and not completed. And now the Steelers will have to punt the ball to Cleveland. This one turned around fast. But it looked like the Browns might fold up their tent after they fumbled. It cost them a touchdown earlier. They lost the ball to the Pittsburgh 6. Instead, it inspired them. They came back all the harder. And now that they've taken the lead 27-26, their defense has been picked up.
Chuck Noll's a little upset with Cliff Stout. Actually, he did miss one receiver in Jim Smith early. He threw a ball he shouldn't have on 2nd down, and he didn't wait long enough to see his open receiver down the field on 3rd. That's the first time he hasn't looked like a veteran.
The punt downfield has been 4 turnovers, and I think there's going to be more before this is over. Wright picks it up. Looks wide right. They get right at the 49-yard line. Boy, that little guy's tough. Coach Vitigliano wants to check out things with his quarterback, Brian Sipe. A 48-yard punt, 5-yard return.
They better not back off now, Don, because there's almost 5 minutes left to play. They only are ahead by 1. A field goal can beat them. If they can control the ball, it would be one thing, but they haven't made much at the line of scrimmage. I think Brian Sipe better just keep peppering.
Last week, Brian Sipe was hurt, didn't even practice before the Green Bay game. Went out and had his best day of the season. They told him not to run if the pass rush came in on him, to fall down. Instead, he ran more than he has all season because he had to. One of the great rivalries in football, a game that has sold out this biggest of stadiums 18 consecutive years. A record crowd today of well over 80,000 as Pruitt tries the middle on a 1st and 10 carry for the Browns. Doesn't get much. Cam eluding the block and getting in to make the tackle. The lights have been on since the outset of the day. It's been an overcast, cold day. There was sleet, rain this morning. The wind has been blowing outside on Lake Erie. Waves 7 to 10 feet higher, crashing into the break wall. And the wind is sweeping out into this famed ball yard as the Pittsburgh Steelers are now looking to get back the ball. 27-26, they trail. Cleveland with 2nd down and a long 9. Greg Pruitt and Calvin Hill, a pass catcher in. The throw is to Hill. He dropped the ball. We have 4:11 left to go in the game. Calvin Hill had it and lost it. Now let's go back to New York to NFL 80 and Brian Gumble for an update. Brian?
Thank you, Don Criqui. The Denver Broncos are playing in the Meadowlands against the Giants, trying to just run off the clock on a 14-9 lead. If they can hang on, Broncos will move to the 500 level at 4-4, and the Giants will have lost their 7th in a row. Let's go back to Don Criqui in Cleveland.
And the story here is a difficult one for Coach Chuck Noll as he paces the sidelines. His world champions beaten in their last 2 games at home, something they'd not done. Lost 2 in a row at home since 71. Now they're with their arch rivals, the Browns, locked up on a bitter cold day with the wind blowing and the Browns in the lead and with the ball 3rd down and 9. Sipe throws, it's tipped. And now the Steelers will get it back on a punt as the Pittsburgh defense comes up big on 3 consecutive downs. And the return unit goes out, and the punter, Johnny Evans, goes out for the Cleveland Browns with 4:05 to go.
And if ever Jerry Sullivan needs to get that ball back into Evans' hands, it couldn't be more opportune than now. One time today they couldn't get a punt off because the ball bounced back to Evans.
Evans is standing at his 36-yard line. T-Bell is back alone for the Steelers. They've got 11 men coming. Now they set up a return. Oh, he unloaded on that one. Bell lets it hop. Just got into the end zone. Comes out to the 20. A couple of guys are knocking each other down out there after the play. Whatever's fair. 3:53 left to go.
Don, it looks as if there's a flag down there on about the 21-yard line, but I guess it's not.
Next week on NBC Sports, it's exciting doubleheader action. So start your day with NFL 80 and host Brian Campbell bringing you up-to-the-minute news, scores, highlights, and more, including Pete Axtell's report on football gambling in America. That's all next Sunday on NFL 80. Be sure to watch.
People don't gamble, do they, on football?
Friendly bets, primarily. Here's a swing pass to Rocky Bahr. And Bahr on a 1st and 10 play gets ahead for a gain of 9 yards, close to the 30, and close to a first down, as the Steelers, with 3:40 in the clock running, look to drive down to at least field goal range for Matt Bahr, a player who's not missed a field goal from inside the 30 in his 2 years in the NFL. He's 15 for 15 inside the 30. The way these Browns strike long distance, the Steelers don't want to get a field goal and then leave Cleveland a lot of time to come back.
They'll take their chances.
Here's another one to Bahr. And the former Notre Dame captain again takes it ahead for a first down. An 11-yard gain out to the 41. Rocky Bahr in his 12th year.
Don, they're going to throw that pass until they stop it. That's the best ball control pass in the game. It only takes 8 yards to get the completion. They're giving it to a very dependable back in Rocky Bahr. 2 in a row. They better find a way to stop it or he'll just keep doing it.
Don't knock the rock. He's standing in there with Hawthorne, the other setback. Now they go to Hawthorne. He's a power back. Demonstrates it there. Thundering ahead from the 41 to the 46. And the clock continues to run. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the game. Cleveland 27, the Pittsburgh Steelers 26. The Steelers trying to drive to field goal range. The Cleveland Browns have not beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers the last 7 meetings. 11 of the last 12 Pittsburgh has won. Not since October 10th of 1976 has Cleveland beaten its arch rival Pittsburgh. Right now the Browns holding to a 1-point lead, but the Steelers are moving. Stout stands in. Oh, Ron Bolton took a look at that one, but it came in low. Jim Smith turning out went down. Clock stops. 2:08 left to play. It'll be 3rd down and about 4.5 to go for the first down and the next down.
They're going for it in 2 plays. You can bet there will be no punting team on 4th down and 4. Matt Bahr standing over there getting a little bit nervous. He's got a little bit of time to wait.
How about those Buffalo Bills? People thought they were going to go into a swoon. Come out and pop New England today, 31-13. So the Bills go to 6-2. The same record that the New England Patriots have as they are tied at the top of the AFC East. 3rd down and about 5. The down looks, has a problem, throws on the run. It's intercepted by Cleveland. Ron Bolton has the ball. The Browns intercept and have the ball at their 41-yard line with 1:57 to play. Ron Bolton got it.
Don, all day long we've seen Cleveland miss easy interception tries. That's one play I didn't even think Bolton had him play on. It looked like Stout was going to get away with eluding a few tacklers, throwing the ball in the crowd, coming up with a fine completion on 3rd down and 5. Bolton steals the ball away from him. Makes a big turnover. There's only 1:57 left, and Cleveland has the ball.
You know that ball's going right home to the Bolton household. His first interception of the year, and it's a real big one. We'll be back at Cleveland Stadium after this.
Tough work demands a tough leather boot. Count on the Texas Steer brand from Kmart. Quality smooth grain leather uppers, soft padded collar and ankle knots for added flex and comfort. Inside, you've got full insulation, Goodyear welt construction, steel shank, and durable oil-resistant soles. And that Kmart sale price of $25 through Saturday is hard to beat. Texas Steer. A little bit of loot buys a lot of boot at Kmart.
Using this surgical fiber optic lens, Prestone Labs is going to show you what weak, neglected antifreeze can do to your radiator after only 9,000 miles. Look at these passages. Rust, corrosion, continued neglect could clog them and overheat this radiator. But look at a Prestone protected radiator after the same 9,000 miles. Quite a difference. Prestone has a patented silicone silicate formula to lock out rust and corrosion. Prestone 2 and Prestone Superflush. No wonder we're #1.
Back at Cleveland, Ron Bolton just delivered the big interception that might have KO'd the Steelers in this game, but we still have 1:57 to go. Here it is again, John.
Well, Don, we mentioned so many times they've dropped perfect opportunities. It didn't even look to me like he had a play on the ball. I didn't see Bolton. I do not think Stout saw him either. It's a bad break at the wrong time for Pittsburgh, but it's a godsend for Cleveland.
Needed that one. Now we have a moment. We'd like to thank for their help in the booth John Betsko, Matt Miller of the Cleveland Browns, and our good old statistician Joe Costanza and Frank Fletcher. It's 1st and 10 Cleveland. They're finally going to go to the run. And Greg Pruitt's going to do something with it. Here's a penalty marker coming in. Stops the clock with 1:52 left to play in the game.
And that penalty means more because it stopped the clock than it does the 10 yards. There's still 1:52 left. Pittsburgh still has 3 timeouts. If they can keep Cleveland from making a first down, they'll have over 1.5 minutes to get the ball down the field.
The quarterback numbers, John. Brian Sipe, 27 of 45 for 339 yards and 4 touchdowns. Cliff Stout, 17 of 36.
Tipping on number 54 of the offense. It will be refused. 2nd down.
So the penalty against DeLeon is refused by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They'll take the down. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 2nd down and 9.
It still stops the clock. That's
2nd down, 8 from the 43.
Cliff Stout, 17 of 36 for 276 yards.
Not bad for your first day at the office.
First start. 4th year in the league. Handoff goes. Nothing there. Pruitt tries the middle, and the Pittsburgh Steelers shut it down. Timeout, says Coach Knowles. So the Steelers are allotted one of their 3 timeouts. Cleveland wins it. They'll be up 5-3. Pittsburgh will drop to 4-4. Houston and Cincinnati are locking up today. That'll be interesting. This Cincinnati's going to beat some teams before they're done.
Well, they've just beaten some teams. They
Right.
beat the best team twice.
Shut out the Vikings last week.
Remember,
that's speculation. This
yes,
isn't over.
sir. This baby has a lot of time. It's last 2 minutes of a ball game when it's this close or seem like an eternity.
Still in the hat, as they say.
Well, we mentioned that you know, when the clock stopped on that penalty by Cleveland, it really gave Pittsburgh an extra 30 seconds. They can call one more timeout after the 3rd down play if they don't pick up a first down. They can get the ball back with a timeout and 1:30 left to play. Any team that puts on any kind of drive, that's plenty of time to get them in field goal position. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Cleveland put that baby in the air. I would.
Well, we're going to find out in about 5 seconds as they come out of the huddle. 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Cleveland Browns. Ball just short of their 45-yard line. They lead this game by 1 point. 27-26. 1:46 to play.
It's in the group.
Brian Sipe stands in, lets her go. He's got a man. The ball is complete for a first down. Willis Adams, who hadn't done a whole lot, does something real big right here. His first reception of the day. There are penalty markers down, however. Nine-yard gain and a first down. Well, let's see what this is all about. They're talking to Mel Blunt. Willis Adams was the #1 draft choice out of Houston a year ago. Caught only 1 ball all last year. It's a hold against Pittsburgh, so the play goes.
Okay, we mentioned, Don, they've got to get a first down to keep Pittsburgh from having enough time to get back down the field, kick a field goal, and win the ball game. Willis Adams comes up with a key 3rd down play. He doesn't know there's a defensive holding call. Now it's going to be virtually impossible. There's two timeouts left for Pittsburgh. 1:38 to play. They can get it down to within 20 seconds by the time they change possession if they don't pick up a first.
First down and 10 for the Browns as they hold to a 1-point lead and go to the run. Mike Pruitt up the middle. Crashes ahead for close to 5 yards. Down near the Steeler 40-yard line. And the clock runs. 1:25 left to go. Now stop it at 1:27. Timeout is called by the Steelers. They've taken 2 of those now. They have but 1 remaining. They need to get the ball back, get the big gainers, get in field goal range. Right now, Cleveland is in command. At Cleveland Stadium, this is Don Criqui with John Brody. 2 longtime rivals from the AFC Central, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns, locked up And what still before the game is a fight to the finish. They don't like each other. They play great football games. We've had one today, and the Browns are holding to a 1-point lead, 27-26. John?
Don, most of the players on the Cleveland roster have never beaten Pittsburgh. I wouldn't like them too well either. You know, they've been beaten 7 times in a row by them. It's a chance for them to get their first taste of victory against their arch rival. Of course, there are a lot of people that haven't beaten Pittsburgh too often.
Mel Blount was the man called for holding. Mike Pruitt hits 81 yards and 16 rushes for Cleveland. It's 2nd down and 5 now for the Browns. 1:27 left to play. Pruitt up the middle, didn't get there. Be 3rd down and about 2. But again, the clock winds down.
Tackle made by Steve Burnett.
Now we have a timeout called again.
You bet. They're going to take their last chance. I mean, if they do stop them on 3rd down and about 1.5 yards, they will not be able to have the clock stop. They can run it down to within about 40 seconds left to play. On 4th down, I'd be curious to see whether they punt the ball or not.
Yeah, that'll take some conversation before they decide that.
Yeah, there's a good chance they wouldn't.
They might not come to 4th down, though.
There's a good chance they wouldn't.
Got 3rd and 2. There might not be a 4th down if the 3rd down is a conversion for a first.
I think I'd try to pick up the 1st down.
That will be it, because the Steelers are out of timeouts.
We're getting it down ahead of ourselves. 3rd and 2 is a pretty big play. They know they can ice it if they can make a 1st down right here.
It's at the 37-yard line of Pittsburgh.
A lot of people taking the mic down there on the floor. Retigliano's talking, Schaffner's talking. I saw 4 or 5 players putting in their 2 cents worth.
Sipe's the guy's got to sell it, though. Let's see what he goes to now on 3rd and 2. Might be Pruitt, the fullback, aligned directly behind him. Charles White. He got there. He didn't get there by much. Steelers don't think he did. Bring up 4th down.
The one thing I'm sure they won't try is a field goal.
Sam Retigliano and his Browns 53 seconds away from beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, something they've not done under Retigliano's tenure at Cleveland. He's 0-4 against Pittsburgh. Chuck Noll, a native of Cleveland who played with the Browns across the way, is world champions, possibly on the way to a 3rd consecutive loss. 4th down and inches. The Browns are ready to punt the ball. Now the official apparently step in and call an official timeout with 37 seconds left.
Well, you can tell. Look, there's 37 seconds left, but when they started that clock, there was only 1 minute left. So they've only run 23 seconds off the clock. You saw a lot of Steelers complaining, but
you're allowed 30.
I think the Browns have a claim.
Tell you, Sam and his guys, boy, there'll be a party tonight if they get this one. Having a problem with the clock they have had all day. Scoreboard clock shows 37 seconds to play now. Remember the last time Evans kicked the ball, put a shot into it, into the end zone for a touchback. 47-yard punt. Cleveland has a couple guys back.
Left in the 30-second count. The game clock of 37 seconds is correct.
That's right, Donnie. They've got 12 seconds left on the 30-second clock, which means they can run it down to 20 to 25 seconds. And that seems about right.
So Johnny Evans standing at his 49-yard line. Charles White on the sidelines, waving something out there, and now Evans comes back up to the line of scrimmage.
He's waving. He says, hey, you said we got 12 seconds to run off the clock. I don't see it moving. They're just going to wait for a delay of game penalty. They're going to take the 5 yards, but they want the 12 seconds off.
Have a little problem getting on the same page here now. "37 seconds is official, we're told. That's how much time remains to be played in this game. The 61st meeting of the Browns and the Steelers. With the Cleveland Browns holding to a 27-26 lead. Pittsburgh. Chuck Noll just sent in about 8 new guys. He's got another return unit in.
And that's, you know, it's really dangerous. I think the most dangerous transition play in the game is a punt. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I don't know.
They got some guys that can block it, like Dwayne Rudriff coming from the left flank. He can motor. They're going for the block. And now the clock runs down to 24. They got an extra second out of it. They take the delay of game as they plan to do. But if there was 12 seconds left in the 30-second clock and the game clock shows 37, they got an extra second as it goes down to 24. Chuck Noll's protesting that. While we have a moment, we'd like to do our credits for the people who make this possible. We'll get to that in a moment. They're going to punt the ball. Hard snap. Hard kick. Line drive. T. Bell takes it on the run at the 11. He gets out of bounds with 16 seconds to play. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Don Ohlmeyer. The coordinating producer of football is Ted Nathanson. The telecast of today's game has been produced by Larry Cirillo, directed by John Gonzalez. Technical director Steve Semino, associate director Gene Waldstein, and production associate Rick Stern.
Don, can I bring a point up?
Please do.
There are exactly the same amount of seconds left in this ball game as there were last week when Cleveland throws a 46-yarder for a touchdown to win the ball game. So if Pittsburgh can grab 46, 48, 50 yards, they've got a chance to kick a field goal and win. The ball game is still not over.
Well, they're sure going to be trying. Stout stands in, looks long. He gets away. He throws. It's intercepted by Bolton. He's going to run it in for a touchdown. Ron Bolton, touchdown, Cleveland.
Now it's over.
What an ending. Bolton's got 2 balls he's bringing home today.
Hey, somebody's hurt down there from the Cleveland side. They better get some control for this crowd because Bedlam could break loose here.
John, one area that's cleared out of this stadium right now is the end zone at the other side where the Steeler fans were.
Well, I can understand that. Listen, Pittsburgh played a very fine football game, and Cliff Stout played about as well as I've ever seen a kid play in his first football game. I think they did not count that because, you know, it's a good rule that they put in, and I was surprised they didn't call it. Now they are calling it. Stout was in the grasp of a tackler.
Oh,
the interception does not go.
The referee was on top of the play. The interception is negated. Fisher whistle blows here.
That's a good call.
But with 4 seconds, he's got to hit a home run.
Yep. Well, there's no play that you can get far enough down the field in 4 seconds to have a chance. They've got to score a touchdown.
Timeout, charge to Cleveland.
Cleveland takes a timeout. Want to be sure they have their stuff together for this last try. They'll have guys playing 50 yards back down.
Chuck Noll is still trying to get the attention of Cliff Stout. About the only case they have is if they put a Hail Mary down there, get one of those tip jobs and a penalty.
Yeah, the game can't end on a penalty, so conceivably the Steelers could get 2 long plays off. One if there's a penalty on it, then another after time has elapsed. The game cannot end on a defensive penalty. Nor can a half. Four seconds left. The wind has subsided somewhat. Flag is down now. It's been swirling.
I'm not sure some of the Browns feel that this game can ever end.
Been a full workout.
Well, you don't find many 3.5-hour football games.
They're all standing in Cleveland as the Browns are 4 seconds away from beating the Pittsburgh Steelers for the first time since '76. Stout with wide receivers set all over the field. He's got 4 guys are going to be running deep patterns. He's got the long arm, and he needs it. There's the gun ball. Jim Smith catches it. And he is down at the 47-yard line, and time runs out. And the Cleveland Browns upset the Pittsburgh Steelers. Art Modell with something to celebrate, as do the packed house.
But you can go because there are still about 8,000 seats left. From noon till 5 at the stadium tomorrow at Gate B, they'll be on sale. Muhammad Ali got a present from some of the Browns tonight. They were at a rally for President Carter when Ron Bolton of the Browns gave Muhammad a T-shirt and a pair of brown sweats. Then the champ had a word for Ron and the Browns.
You tell the Browns, I love the style.
Earl Campbell, whose second consecutive 200-yard rushing game matched defeat achieved only by O.J. Simpson. The team was the St. Louis Cardinals. Their 12 sacks against Baltimore tied up.